of the news, Buhari directs MDAs to prioritize indigenous professionals in national projects. Reps adjourn plenary as Appropriation Committee unveil budget defense guideline. And Nigeria's inflation rate drops to 16.63% for the sixth time in 2021. Glad to have you join us on News Now. I am Folashade Ogurinde. In its bid to improve local contribution to the development of science and technology, President Muhammadu Buhari has directed all agencies of government to give priority to indigenous professionals for planning, design and execution of national projects. The president spoke yesterday at the inauguration of the Presidential Monitoring and Evaluation Council of the Executive Order 5 at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. Our correspondent has the details. It's been 3 years since President Muhammadu Buhari signed the Executive Order 5 in February 2018. 3 years after, the president has set up the Presidential Monitoring and Evaluation Council to ensure, among other things, strict compliance to the Executive Order 5.
Executive Order number 5 is aimed at placing Nigerian professionals and manufacturers at the center of the Nigerian economy. It is an instrument of this administration to midwife a new beginning that will transform our economy from resource-based to a knowledge-based that is innovation-driven. Hence, the inauguration of the Monitoring and the Evaluation Council could not have come at a better time than now.
The executive order, which mandates all ministries, departments and agencies to engage only indigenous professionals, is aimed at utilizing local talents in the development of the nation's economic strength. But where it has been certified that local expertise is not available, the president, who is also chairman of the Presidential Monitoring Evaluation Council, says only on that basis should foreign professionals be considered.
The Ministry of Interior shall ensure that the expatriate quota for projects, contracts and programs are granted according to the provisions of the Immigration Act and other relevant laws. This will apply where qualifications and competence of Nigerian nationals are not available or cannot be ascertained, which shall be contingent on training such a number of persons as may be required for the execution of the contract or project.
In his remarks, the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Ogbonnaya Onu, assured that the Council would harness all human and natural resources to reduce exploitation of jobs.
So the Presidential Executive Order number 5, in essence, is placing our manufacturers, our entrepreneurs, our professionals at the very center of economic activity. And we are very happy that what you are doing today will now make it possible for it to be fully implemented.
Despite Nigeria's teeming young professionals, the country has in the past 10 years spent as much as $55 billion on foreign expatriates, making worse issues of capital flight the Executive Order 5 hopes to combat. Folashade Ogurinde, TV360 News. President Muhammadu Buhari on Friday received Pastor Tunde Bakare of the Citadel Global Community Church at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. Speaking with State House correspondents at the end of the meeting, Bakare said restructuring Nigeria is critical to the advancement of the nation. Yet that while zoning may seem important in the world of politics, the quality of the candidate is more relevant to Nigeria's quest for national development.
We need to do it to move this nation forward. The founding fathers of this nation Sir Ahmadu Bello, Chief Femi Awolowo, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa, alongside with their entourage in Lancaster House and everywhere, agreed on what type of government Nigeria should have. We must not change the goalposts in the midst of the game. We are better off together as a nation than going at different ways. But it must be based on equity, justice, fair play, and the rule of law. Out of 61 years, the North has produced either presidents or heads of state for 40 to 41 years. And yet, see the retrogression in the North. If it's from the South, why should a person like President Obasanjo freeze and seize the account of Lagos State in his own tenure? If it's from South-South to Southeast, why couldn't President Jonathan use all his powers to develop South-South to South? It's not where they come from, it's what they carry and what they have to offer. May the best of Nigerians rise, whether they are from the East, from the West, from the North, and from the South.
Moving on, the federal government has declared Tuesday, October 19, 2021, a public holiday to mark this year's Eid Mawlid celebration in commemoration of the birth of the Prophet Muhammad. Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola, who made this known on behalf of the federal government, congratulated all Muslim faithful, both home and abroad, for witnessing this year's occasion. He enjoined all Nigerians to imbibe the spirit of love, patience and perseverance, which are the virtues of the Prophet Muhammad. The House of Representatives has adjourned plenary to the 9th of November 2021 to enable the Appropriation Committee deliberate further on the proposed budget. This comes after 2 days of debate on the general principles of the 2022 Appropriation Bill laid before both chambers of the National Assembly last week. Anita Patrick completes the story.
After 2 days of intense discussions on the general principles of the 2022 Appropriation Bill, members of the Green Chambers are ready to adjourn.
We'll be asking, how are you bringing budget when you have not implemented up to 43% here? And it is in this country now that we are seeing that at least budgets are being implemented 100%.
During the break, ministries, departments and agencies of government will appear before the Appropriations Committee to defend their budget. While public opinion has suggested that budget defense do not yield results, the Chairman House Committee on Media and Publicity, Benjamin Kalu, promised that the exercise will be carried out diligently.
You will see that in the huge amount of money that is allocated to the security of this nation, the agencies, the defense, the security agencies of this nation, is quite huge. We are calling for more, but they have listened to us. The House asked the executive to increase the budget on health. They have done that. We asked them also to increase the budget on security. They have done so. So when you say that we are rubber stamp, I laugh because the executives, they are listening to us.
On its part, the Chairman House Committee on Budget and Appropriations, Betara Mukhtar, while explaining the guidelines to be adopted, said the committee will submit its report on the 2022 Appropriations Bill on the 14th of December 2021.
Committees will work for 2 weeks for the defense. And after 2 weeks, committees will report back to the same committee here, where subcommittees headed by our committee members need to move and work with those committees. In the last budget, we really have some issues, but we have to sit with the Ministry of Finance and Budget to resolve a lot of these issues. Committees can work within their budget, but there are certain percentages we give committee chairmen and members of those committees that will work with it, and it will not exceed what is given to them.
With a total expenditure of 16.39 trillion naira, the 2022 proposed budget is the largest since the beginning of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration in 2015. The budget, if passed, is expected to build on the achievements of previous budgets and deliver on the federal government's goal reflected in the National Development Plan of 2021 to 2025. Anita Patrick from the National Assembly reporting for TV360 Nigeria.
The governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, has said that agitation by the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has been politicized and is being used to make innocent people vulnerable. While addressing State House correspondents after a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa in Abuja, Uzodinma said there would be more defections into the APC before the November 6th Anambra governorship election. Our correspondent, Mary Kanu, has the details.
It has been a busy week for President Muhammadu Buhari, who just after concluding the two-day mid-term ministerial performance review retreat at the State House, received the defected Deputy Governor of Anambra State, Nkem Okeke, from the All Progressives Grand Alliance APGA to the ruling All Progressives Congress APC. Also present during the presentation was Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, who said the mass defection from other parties to the APC is due to the death of persuasion rather than financial inducement, as claimed in some quarters.
As at the last count, 8 members of the House of Representatives, it's not only APGA, PDP, APGA, they've joined the APC. The Deputy Governor of Anambra State joined the APC and has been presented to Mr. President. So I don't want to lament. In political program, you can lobby people. And I don't think APC has money to start buying people or giving people money. All we did was try to convince our people through persuasion and counseling. And they are now joining the party.
While addressing the sit-at-home order in the southeast region of the country, Uzodinma said the order is not being observed in Imo State, adding that the issue is being politicized by the opposition.
The sit-at-home order is also being politicized because those issuing the order are faceless. Those issuing the sit-at-home order are faceless. We've not seen anybody, either through a broadcast or through a publication in any newspaper, directing people to sit at home. Rather, what we know that is happening is this paparazzi mentality of trying to put fear into our people and make innocent people vulnerable. As I speak to you, the sit-at-home order is not being obeyed in Imo State, so that they don't, out of fear, commit suicide. So the truth of the matter is that we had these security challenges, we had misunderstandings and disagreements, but we've been able to also do a lot to bring this thing to the barest minimum.
Giving hope to residents of the southeast region, Uzodinma says he is in talks with secessionist leaders with a view to finding lasting solutions to the security challenges. Mary Kanu, TV360, Nigeria.
As part of activities to commemorate the EU Anti-Trafficking Day 2021, the Action Against Trafficking and Smuggling of Migrants in Nigeria has upgraded and refurbished shelters for victims of human trafficking. The team lead for the group, Rafael Rio, said 6 shelters were upgraded at the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 to cater for over 100 victims, while 11 others were refurbished in 2021 to improve the livelihood of over 500 trafficked victims.
We would like to have in many shelters, we would like to go to many other places in Nigeria because the objective is to provide a better service, a better quality for the people who are there in that shelters because has been trafficked or has been a smuggler during some period in their life. So that is the real of this activity, to increase, to make a better life for them.
Having conducive environment and shelter for survivors of trafficking in persons have been a major challenge. It is capital intensive to run and maintain shelters, and for a very long time we have been looking at how we can make our facilities very conducive for these survivors so that they can be able to forget a part of the trauma and experiences they have had in the hands of their traffickers.
The atmosphere for human traffickers to operate is not in this environment again, because all necessary measures are being put in place to make sure that they are caught to sizes as much as possible. And it is through concerted efforts like this that we can effectively combat this scourge, because nobody can climb with one hand. And we need the whole of government, the whole of society approach. We need all hands to be on deck.
We'll take a break here, but still to come, British Member of Parliament dies from stab wounds. Details of the story and more right after this break. Welcome back. Now here is a recap of our top story tonight. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed ministries, departments and agencies of government to give priority to indigenous professionals for planning, design and execution of national projects. The president made this known during the inauguration of the Presidential Monitoring and Evaluation Council of the Executive Order 5 at the Presidential Villa in Abuja on Thursday. Buhari further emphasized that foreign professionals should only be considered where it had been certified that local expertise was not available. But in case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are at TV360 Online. Nigeria on Thursday recorded 226 fresh samples of COVID-19. The new figure raises the country's infection tally to 208,630. According to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, the new cases were reported from 15 states. The FCT topped the infection chart with 73 cases, followed by Plateau and Lagos with 34 and 25 cases respectively. The NCDC also disclosed that 6 people died of COVID-19 related complications, raising the country's total casualty figure to 2,767. But the World Health Organization, WHO, has reported about 86% of all coronavirus infections in Africa go unnoticed. The WHO puts the number of all infections on the continent at 59 million, over 7 times more than 8 million reported cases. WHO Regional Director for Africa, Matshidiso Moeti, said with limited testing, the continent is flying blind in far too many communities. In total, more than 8.4 million coronavirus cases have been recorded in Africa, including 214,000 deaths. I will take a break here and return with more stories and business. To stay with us.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those that are silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Well, up next is business news and stock market review with Mary Kanu. Over to you, Mary.
Thank you, Folashide. And now in business, Nigeria's headline inflation in the month of September dropped further to 16.63% compared to 17.01% recorded in the previous month. This is according to the recently released CPI report for the month of September by the National Bureau of Statistics. According to the report, increases were recorded in all classifications of individual consumption according to purpose divisions that yielded the headline index. The September inflation rate is 0.38% lower than the 17.01% rate registered in August 2021, making it the 5th month in a row that the inflation rate has slowed. But we'll take a break here and return with a review of the stock market. Please stay with us. It is another win for the domestic stock as the key indicator of stock performance entered a new level amid continued buy sentiment from investors. Now, today's trading session ended with impressive gains across all indicators of the Nigerian exchange as the market's benchmark index entered the 41,000 points after notching up by 0.75%, representing 192 billion naira added to the total value of listed equities. Now, with investors taking advantage of low prices across different sectors, we see gains spread across 30 equities led by SCOA and Custodian, while on the flip side, 8 equities recorded losses led by CHAMS and UPL. Now, at the close of today's trading, 728 million volume of shares were traded in 4,852 deals. Now, on the global scene, it is a good trading day for these selected stocks as the bull has maintained dominance. Now, UK stock FTSE is currently trading at 0.37%, while US stock Dow Jones also topped the 35,000 mark for the first time since September and is trading at 0.80%. Asian stock Nikkei also jumped to more than 2-week high and posted its first weekly gain in 4 days thanks to technology heavyweights and is trading at 1.81%. Well, that's all on today's review of the stock market. For Lashade, over to you now.
Well, thank you so much, Mary, for that update. On a foreign scene, the police have confirmed Tory MP Sir David Hames dead after being stabbed several times while holding a constituency surgery in Essex. Police said a man was arrested on suspicion of murder after stabbing at a church in Leonsea, and a knife was recovered from the scene. Sir David, aged 69, had been an MP since 1983 and was married with 5 children. The British Member of the Parliament is a second sitting MP to be killed in the last 5 years, following the murder of Labour MP Joe Cox in 2016. And it's now time for Entertainment Report.
Nigeria celebrates Afrobeat legend Fela Anikulapo Kuti on his 83rd posthumous birthday. Regarded as the pioneer of the Afrobeat genre, the late Fela, also known as Abba Mieda, was a Nigerian multi-instrumentalist, band leader, composer, political activist, and Pan-Africanist. He is remembered as an influential icon who voiced his opinions on matters that affected the nation through his music. Fela died from age-related complications on August 2, 1997, at the age of 58. Balanle Austin Peters produced film Collision has been confirmed to premiere at this year's Africa International Film Festival, AFRIF. The film, which is reportedly set around police brutality and the tragic EndSARS protest, will premiere at the closing ceremony of AFRIF, slated for November 12, 2021. Written and directed by James Amuta, Collision stars Daniel Etim Efyong, Bimbo Manuel, Chioma Akpotha, Kalu Ikeagu, among others. British singer Adele has released her comeback single Easy on Me, in which she relates details of the traumatic 6 years she has endured since last releasing a record. In that period, the 33-year-old reveals she suffered a year of anxiety in which her marriage fell apart. In her Twitter post, she described the period as a maze of absolute mess and inner turmoil. The Hello crooner also announced that her new album 30 will be released on November 19, 2021. That's it on the entertainment segment of News Now.
Away from entertainment, now to sports. Nigeria can promote interest in gymnastics by creating more awareness and platforms for young talents in the country. Chairperson of the Southwest Gymnastics Association, Omoumi Olalere, made a remark at the ongoing 6th National Youth Games taking place in Ilori, the Kwara State capital, where gymnasts from 15 states and the Federal Capital Territory are competing for the ultimate position. Olalere commended the gymnasts for their performance, adding that she would ensure it becomes a popular sport in Nigeria.
The gymnastics event started yesterday, and so far it's been fantastic. I've been very overwhelmed with the activities of our young stars. It is very, very encouraging to be here, and I would use everything within my position to ensure that gymnastics becomes a popular game in Nigeria. What I've perceived as a challenge is awareness. There is no much awareness for gymnastics games in Nigeria, but in the age of social media, I'm sure that we could, make it known, because gymnastics has a lot of medals, even more than other federations, you understand. So we need to have a lot of people coming in to participate, and we know we have a lot of skills in the country, so we just need to create more awareness and then bring in a lot of people, catch them young, and we would be able to participate at international levels, international events.
And that's the size of our news bulletin. Thank you for watching. I am Folashade Ogurinde. Bye for now.